welcome to the Drive to 295. I'm Jeff Parsons. This is my vlog where I rant, rave, bitch, moan, and decide to talk about whatever happens to be on my mind, and sometimes I talk about things that I forgot to talk about earlier. It is, you'll get to that in a second, it is May 13th, 2010, or as I like to call it, 2 days before payday, for those of us living paycheck to paycheck. That's how all time is measured, isn't it? So, what I didn't talk about in my last vlog that I kind of wanted to, and forgot all about, was Betty White was on Saturday Night Live this past weekend. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live. I have a hard time saying that. Saturday Night Live. I haven't watched it in a long time. I just catch, when I hear that they had a funny skit, I'll just catch it on Hulu. But I haven't actually sat down and watched the show live in I don't know how long. At least not since the Dana Carvey and Mike Myers, Phil Hartman days. It's been that long. But this prompted me to do it because I'm a huge Betty White fan. And not for the reason that most people are Betty White fans, probably. I'm a huge Betty White fan because I loved her on game shows. She is Mrs. Password. Literally, she's Mrs. Password. She was married to the host of Password, Alan Ludden. He passed away in mid-80s, I believe. Or around 83, 84, or somewhere around there. So he's been gone almost 30 years. Betty White, though, is 88 years old. And, of course, you probably heard by now the big Facebook campaign, get her to host Saturday Night Live, and it worked. Lauren Michaels got her on the show. She was fantastic. If you haven't seen the show, go check it out on Hulu. At least check out the clips. But she basically had the best ratings that Saturday Night Live has had in a long time, all because of her. And she's amazing. She has a talent. She has timing, comedic timing, which is pretty much unparalleled to a lot of people. She's just that good. She's just absolutely amazing. And I guess they said that in all the years of Saturday Night Live, no guest has gotten a standing ovation from the cast and crew at the end of the show, but Betty White did. You know why she got a standing ovation? Sure, she's great and amazing, and she's very talented, but she got a standing ovation because she's not dead. That's really what it is. I mean, seriously, old people get standing ovations. If you reach a certain age, and I'm going to say it's anywhere beyond 75 years of age or older, you walk into a room, standing ovation. Hey, look, John's here. He's not dead. Give that man a standing ovation. And the same is true for Betty White. Same thing happens with Bob Barker, another big idol of mine who you probably know if you know anything about me. He's a little younger than Betty White, but all of a sudden on The Price is Right, after, about 1992 or so, when he had reached the age of 70, I think he was close to 70. He was close to it by that point anyway. He started getting standing ovations every time he came out on stage because he was just that old and had been doing it just that long. It's seriously, I swear that if I went to a nursing home, anyone over the age of 85 in there would walk into a room and they'd get a standing ovation. But anyway, so now it's getting a little out of hand because people on Facebook have realized this works, so now they want to take it a step further. There's a new campaign for Betty White to get her to host the Academy Awards. I'm like, let's not push it. You don't go to that well that many times, okay? We got what we needed from Betty. She was fantastic. She was great. She's still going to be doing other work. She's in a show on TV Land, I guess, that's starting up. So she's not going away. She doesn't need to keep coming back to do other award shows and host things. And then there's also a campaign out there of all people, George Takei, who plays Sulu on Star Trek. He's old too. I don't know his exact age, but he's over 70. He probably gets a round of applause wherever he walks in. But no, you can't turn Saturday Night Live into, geriatrics who are hosting all the time. It's just, it was great for Betty White, but it's too much. I don't know why they want George Takei. Maybe because if you've seen the episode, Betty White was pretty raunchy for an 88-year-old lady. The skits they had her in were pretty... Yeesh. And George Takei has done a few of those himself. He's been on Family Guy. He's was the announcer on Howard Stern for a while. I don't know if he still is. But he's done some raunchy stuff since then, too. I guess we think it's funny to have old people use terms like dusty muffin. Or whatever it was. It was just it gives me creeps just thinking. Funny, but not how I want to think about Betty White. Anyway, let's not go crazy with all the old people hosting Saturday Night Live. We had our one gig. Betty White was awesome. Betty White's fantastic. I hope she lives to be 120, keeps doing this. But no, let's not get her doing everything. Let her do her own little thing and work when she wants to work. Okay? We got our wish once. Let's call it good. So again, thanks to everybody that's watching. I'm getting more and more comments, which means I guess more and more people are watching, which I appreciate. If you want to subscribe to the Jeff Parsons Project's Drive to 295, you can go to the JeffParsonsProject.com, click on Drive to 295, you'll find it there. You can become my friend on Facebook, Facebook.com/JeffParsons. And you can also subscribe on YouTube. Just do a search for the Drive to 295. YouTube is just awesome. It makes me wonder as I keep uploading these shows again and again, and they're in HD too. So they're huge files. Google must own the world because they own YouTube. But I mean, to have all that space and all that bandwidth to handle YouTube, they can't. How are they making any money on this thing? I know they're running ads, but there's no way that can pay for the sheer amount of storage space and bandwidth that they're dealing with on a daily basis. Because everybody that's got a camera is uploading stuff onto YouTube. It just blows my mind that Google can rule the world like it does. Bill Gates must just be so envious that his empire has been overtaken by Google. Microsoft was going to own the world, and Google stepped in and took it away. Anyway, I'm at the on-ramp, so that's going to do it for today. I'm doing them not quite as daily as I'd like to, but hopefully I'll be back again soon, so keep checking it out, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.